How many patterns did I choose for this? Oh my god. Hi, welcome back to my channel, La Fraise. I'm a student in costume making in Brussels, and today I am finding sewing patterns for you for your incredibly specific prompts. So thank you to everyone who sent a prompt. Maybe thank you more to some people than others because some prompts were so hard. I'm obviously joking, like I'm really grateful to anyone who sent a prompt. But so without further ado, here are all of the patterns I have for you. So far I have 47, which, oh dear, I will try to keep things speedy, but every time I couldn't not give you options. I will try to trim it as I go here if I manage, but I really struggled. Hello, next day Noémie, to just let you know that all the links are in the description below in the order I'm mentioning them now, so everything is down there. It's quite a bit, but at least you can find everything easily. Okay, the first one, summer hiking. It needs to be cool, breathable and sturdy and also cover you up pretty well from the sun. So here what I was thinking is that what would make this garment happen and be what this person is looking for is mostly the right fabric. So actually I have chosen a Keep It Simple semi-fitted t-shirt from Pattern Emporium, and the reason why I chose this one is that it has a lot of options for neckline, sleeves length, and so if you went with the crew neck and the long sleeve you would be nicely protected from the sun, but what would make this a good hiking top would be the right fabric, and for that you would need to go to a sportswear fabric, a technical fabric, and if you can find one that has UV protection, all the best. If you wanted to stay in the more traditional fibers, I would go with a tencel jersey because I find that they are quite soft, but not soft to the point of moto where it would probably not be durable enough. And for the pants, it was so hard. I searched so much and I didn't find anything I like, and so in the end I'm giving you the Arden pants from Helen's Closet, which are my favorite. They needed to be somewhere in this roundup anyway, and you could have it with the cuffed bottom or not depending. I use those when I travel all the time, so I find them really comfortable to walk in. They also have really deep pockets, which are convenient to put your phone, your handkerchiefs, and anything you need. Editing Noémie, I could have put the Arden for every single request. I love them so much. I kept them to once, but there were other moments in this video where I could have put the Arden, so please admire my restraint, but Arden all the way. But I know for a fact that Sydney Graham is planning to at some point draft a pattern for hiking pants. She hikes herself a lot and she has been talking about the fact that she wants to make pants, but it hasn't arrived yet. But when those arrive, I think they're going to be exactly what every hiker is going to need. Roller skating disco. So, love this one. First, I thought about safety and I have decided to put you in a jumpsuit because I do not want you to get caught in your dress or, you know, to have your dress restrict your movement. I thought that was too dangerous. So I have three options, two serious ones and one that was more just, I found it so hilarious I had to show you. The first one is if you're going to kind of a fancy one. I thought this looked very fancy on top but practical on the bottom, and it's the Juliana Martes Jolene jumpsuit. And yeah, this is such a gorgeous neckline and the pants are really beautiful. I thought this way you can move but you look great, and I do like the fabric they have used for the sample. I feel like for your roller skate disco you would look cool, but you can obviously match the fabric to the vibe you want to give for your disco. If you needed something a little bit more casual than this, because I was like, well, this neckline is a bit over the top, then I would go with the Zadie jumpsuit, which is, you know, a firm favorite, but it is still safe for your roller skating, so I'm still happy with the jumpsuit, but it's a bit more casual on top with just a wrap. So I thought you'll be comfortable, you'll look effortlessly cool, so I think that's a good one for me. And I had to show you, I mean, if you wanted to go all out, the McCall's M8534. Look at that photo. Don't you want to go like this? Sorry, it's not really so much for the pattern. The pattern is quite a bit extra, I have to say, but when I saw the fabric they used to sew this, I was like, I mean, is there anything else you would wear to your roller skating disco? Like, you would be the disco ball yourself. So yeah, so I had to put this one in because I laughed so much when I saw this. Okay, business casual. Oh, those are two from Atelier Jupe. I wanted to include Atelier Jupe because they're actually Belgian, so I'm really proud of them. Okay, business casual work meeting. I had found the pants first and actually found the top from the same designer. I didn't realize I put them both here. So for the top, I have the chemise Este, which you can have in long or short sleeves, and I think in a viscose like they are doing, it looks quite relaxed but still dressed up and stylish. So, oh no, I really want to make it as part of my shirt series, but I have truly made enough shirts for my liking at the moment. It has a camp collar and a normal collar. Oh, that's good! Okay, that's such a good pattern because you have the short sleeves, you have the long sleeves, you have the two collars. Like, what more can you want? Oh my god, I'm really... Atelier Jupe, you're doing good. And it's not a very expensive pattern either. Oh, I want to test it. Okay, we relax. Stay on track. We're not doing our shirt series. We're doing this. But I think you should have this for your top for your work meeting in a viscose just like they are doing. I think it's going to look so effortless. And you know what? I thought that wasn't enough patterns. No, it's just that I also saw the live blouse also from Atelier Jupe and I was like, oh, it's also very nice. I find it a good amount of simple and then a little bit special with the ruffle at the neckline. The neckline kind of reminded me of the patina blouse. I have actually just made the patina blouse and I find that it's all a bit much with the puff sleeves and everything, and so this I think gives you a little bit of that pizzazz that the patina blouse has with the statement color, but in more tamed down and something I would probably feel more comfortable to wear at the office. The sleeves are a lot more straight sized and everything, so looking at it, I think it would be actually also a very good option for the office. And then for the bottom, either you would go with the skirt from Atelier Brunette. It's a firm favorite for me. Every time I want to look put together and look a bit fancy, I wear that one and I just feel so powerful. It comes at a perfect length for me and the way it holds from your waist to your hips is just perfection. I think the zipped version looks a touch more appropriate for work, but obviously, I mean, I think both would still be fine, but the zipped version would be the one I would do for work. But if you preferred pants, then I would go with the Blake trousers from Atelier Jupe. This is where I didn't realize I had Atelier Jupe twice, but that's fine. And those pants look so good. They are wide leg pants with two little pleats at the front. I think, you know, with your shirt tucked in, it would look great. So I think you have the skirt option and the pants options for the office and you are ready to go and smash your meeting. Good luck. Okay, so then I really love this one. I have to meet my ex. I need to look amazing without trying too hard. And for this one, I was like, what would make you look amazing without trying too hard? Because everything I was thinking of was like, you clearly tried. Skater dresses look good on everyone. They are really figure flattering and kind of show your curves or help create curve if you don't have much. But at the same time, if you have one in knit, it's casual. First, I have the tank dress from Pattern Emporium, and this one, I just found the neckline so flattering, and it has this skater skirt at the bottom, which would make you a very nicely defined waist, and then the skirts floating around you. Now, so that was my first and preferred option to make your ex regret the day your ex. Now, I know that everyone doesn't love to show their arms and shoulders, so I also have the Yasmin V-neck dress from St. Clair Patterns, and this, I just loved the little pleats under the breast. It kind of brings the eye there, but it's not, you know, putting your boobs on show or anything because the neckline is really modest, but I find that the little piece that you have here makes it look really princessy, and I was like, again, it's a knit dress, so you are really relaxed and clearly not trying at all. But look how good this looks. So I really liked this version, and I think if you are not comfortable showing too much of your arms, then this would be perfect. I just saw the end trim dress from Itch to Stitch, and it has to go in as well. And then when we say knit dress, I can't not mention the Breeze knit dress from Core Fabrics. And here you need to have the confidence because I haven't made this dress yet, even though I have the pattern. It's a free pattern, by the way. So, you know, flaunt what you have for free. I mean, just the price of the fabric. I feel like this would cling on my tummy, and I don't know how I feel about this. But if you feel like showing everything you have in kind of a casual way, this is amazing, and it's so pretty with the little knot on the side. It has a slit, but it's still quite modest. This is such a nice pattern. I don't know if I feel confident enough to wear it at this point in my life. Okay, a pattern for attending a food festival. I have you covered. I have found this one from the Pattern Emporium, which is Meet You There. And if you can see, the waistline is first not really nipped in, but also really high. So I think in that first layer of gathers, you could hide your food baby very conveniently and be very comfortable. So I was like, that's my number one, to look really cool, but eat as much as you need and not need to like pop some buttons open as you go. That was my choice number one. Choice number two, I kind of hesitated because I feel like it could look a little bit too fancy to go to a festival, but can't not mention the kilo wrap dress. I mean, literally, you just open it and give yourself the space you need, and you can still have a defined waist while giving yourself all the room necessary. So I quite like this one, but I feel like it might be too dressed up for a festival. I feel like it really depends on which fabric you choose. I feel like with the right fabric, you might be fine to go to a festival. And the latest one, a very popular one, obviously, the Magic Pants from Antilly. And this, again, you can give yourself room as the day goes, so you can go from stand to stand and never run out of room in your pants. No, sorry, I'm not finished. Yes, I've already tied my hair back and I had finished to film, but actually there is not enough paper cut patterns in here, and I love paper cut, and I refuse to do a pattern recommendation that does not include paper cut. So every time you see me appear, you know that I came back to add patterns in, because 47 patterns plus 3 was already not enough. For your food festival, I think the Aura dress would also look really nice, and I think the fabric they chose here make it look really casual, like a picnic blanket in the very best way possible. And this is a great dress because you can actually give yourself a little bit more room if you need it, but still look chic. And actually when I saw that, I was like, I can't not include this in the video because this looks the perfect food festival level of chic to me. So this had to go in. And then the Celestial dress looks absolutely perfect because there is room to grow forever. So this is actually the dress for your food festival, and it actually also comes in the plus size range, so I thought it was important to include this one as well. To attend the Lego party. So I didn't know if a Lego party is a party where you build Lego sets together, or if you need to look like a Lego. In any case, I have you covered. So the first one I chose is the Dollar jumpsuit. And I thought if you are going to build Lego, you might be sitting on the floor, you might be in awkward positions because, you know, like what if it's a big set and everyone's building it? Like I said, you need to be ready for anything. And so I thought a jumpsuit would be nice because you can kind of move as freely as you need without the risk of flashing anyone. So your modesty is safe. And I found that the Dollar jumpsuits almost looks like a dress. But if you thought, okay, I'm going to a Lego party that is not that fancy, then my second option is the Northbridge jumpsuit from Liesl & Co. And that is a lot more casual. It also has an elasticated waist, which I thought might be useful if you sit a lot, if you need to lean in all sorts of directions. It's going to give you the range of movement necessary for all the Lego building you need to do. Now, obviously, if you're going to a Lego party, you are going to need Lego fabrics. So I have found this one from Spoonflower, which I really like the colorway, but when you look at it in a full piece, I don't really like that you can see the diagonal lines too much. But C'est Usually, which is a store here in Brussels, has this fabric, which looks like Lego bricks, and I thought it's kind of brilliant. So you make your jumpsuit in this fabric, and then you are looking like a pile of Lego in a comfortable jumpsuit, and you are ready to go to your party. You're welcome. Patterns for a medieval fair. I have two sewing patterns from Reconstructing History, and the first one for more a traditional woman's wear outfit would be the 14th century woman kirtle and cotardie. How do you say all of this? Medieval dress. The medieval dress that they have that is 14th century. And then if you need something that is more traditionally menswear, I really didn't like the option for the 14th century. I was like, no, I am not recommending this to you. No way. So we are going to go a little bit older and going to the 15th century. So if you are going as a pair with the person who's wearing the woman's outfit, you are not historically matching, but that depends if style is more important than accuracy for you. In any case, this pattern gives you doublet and hosen. Like, what's all those words I never use? Gives you a nice little outfit. I would also like to mention, if you want something that's a little bit more chill and that's unisex, it's a cheesemaker smock from Folkwear. That's something, depending on the fabric you use, you could actually also use in your real life, and it's a bit less extreme than making a full-on doublet. This person wants a chic beret. I have two options for you, a paid pattern and a free tutorial. This paid pattern is from Sew Over It and it looks very cute. It looks like a very traditionally French shape of beret, to be honest. All those people look so happy with the berets, and that's an absolute beginner pattern too. But if you were like, well, it's just a beret, I don't want to pay for a pattern, fair enough. The last stitch has you covered and has a little tutorial on how to make a beret. I do find that it doesn't really poof widely enough compared to your head to be really traditionally French, which is why I still prefer the Sew Over It one. But I feel like if you are comfortable with a bit of drafting yourself, you might be able to make this work. So I wanted to show this one as well because it's free. Cozy slipper socks for home that I can sew in to not get cold feet. So slipper socks specifically, I couldn't really find the sewing patterns because they all tended to be knitting patterns, and then you stick those little anti-slip bits underneath. Now, I did find this quilted slippers pattern, and the advantage of this one is that it has a back, so it's not like you can't walk in there and that you risk to fall or anything. So I thought those ones looked quite good. Now, I don't know if they're gonna keep your feet warm enough. I think what I would do is use this pattern, but actually put fleece inside or something like really warm. I think that would help making them warm enough for your cold feet. And actually you could also still put the little grippy material underneath so that you don't slip, because if you just make them out of fabric, it could be a bit dangerous if you walk around the house a bit too fast. I had to show you, probably not for you for sewing, but look at those! I feel like at least in this, it would keep your feet quite toasty. Until what size does that go? If you are an adult with quite small feet, the biggest size could work for you. And I mean, look at this. This is incredibly cute. Maybe not what you expected, but when I saw those cute slippers, I was like, I'm sold, I'm sold. These are the ones we need. A chic night dress for summer for over 50s, non-boring ladies, no frills. This was tough because everything I liked had frills. I feel like it's mostly because I never wear night dresses. I prefer pajamas because I find that night dress just right up when you sleep and you end up having this donut around your midriff, and that really bothers me. So I always prefer pajamas. So I was on the hunt for that perfect night dress. And what I have found, and you can't tell me that's not chic, this is long, so you would need to crop it for summer, but look at view D. It has princess seams, excuse me, super chic, and it has lace on the back. This is so fancy, you could almost just go out in this and not having as a night dress. So this was my choice for this prompt, but I want to say it was not easy to find something with no frills. Something for a wedding that has been postponed twice and you're surprised it actually happened this time. So what I understand I love you guys. What I understand from this prompt is that now the wedding is actually happening. Your dress is not ready because you did not plan ahead, because you did not think it would happen. So now the wedding is in 2 days and you have to make this dress happen. And so I went for chic and pretty simple because you don't have time. You just need to get that dress going by now. So I have chosen for you the Sicily slip dress because it's a very, very nice cut, but the bias is basically doing the entire work for you. So you just cut the front and back. I mean, I'm simplifying, but basically you just cut the front and back, sew it, and it's done. I think this could be pretty quick to make and you would still look fairly chic if you have a nice material to make this out of. I think you would still look very chic for your wedding. And also like not too difficult, but looks very nice for a wedding is the Lockhart jumpsuit or dress. I think I would definitely go for the dress if the wedding is coming, because the jumpsuit you would probably want to twirl to make sure that everything fits nicely. So Lockhart dress, probably for you, and you would look perfect for a wedding. Again, with the right fabric, I think this would be perfect. How many patterns did I choose for this? Oh my god. Okay, I have 8 patterns, which is slightly overkill. It's because I found it so hard. I ended up like finding everything, but it also really depends on your style. So even though it's a lot of dress patterns, I feel like in the end, only 1 or 2 will really speak to you specifically. So look, I'm just going for it. I'm just giving you all the patterns and then you can see what you find. And I haven't even said what the prompt is. Wedding, but with smoking as a theme. And I think because she said theme, I was like, smoking as a theme, but actually then I had a talk with her because I was like, I don't understand. What, like, do you need to look like smoke? I don't get it. And she was like, no, it's a smoking dress code. And I was like, oh my god, I'm so stupid. You can tell I'm never invited to fancy events. In any case, we got there and I have 2 options for Wiseau. I really want to get to making a Wiseau pattern at some point. I find that they look so chic. The first one is the Jolie dress, and it has a super sexy back, very nice flutter sleeves. I really like the sleeves and I really like the front as well. I really like all of the neckline. It really reminds me of the Springer dress, which I have already made. Here, I'm not sure I would be able to wear a bra without it showing in the back. And also, this is a French brand and you might be able to tell, but the model is very, very thin. And I'm always worried with French brands that are planned for very thin ladies that is just not going to work with my shape, and I don't need a sewing pattern to make me feel bad about myself. So that's why in the end I went with the other pattern, but I think this still looks very nice. Another one from Wiseau, and that one I think I really want to make for myself. I don't have an occasion to wear these 2, but maybe I just make it for fun. I don't know. I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. I love the off the shoulder. I love the little cross in the front. Again, I don't really know how the drafting would work for a bigger cup size, but I think this looks absolutely lovely. Now, a classic from Vicky Sews, and I also have this pattern, and I don't know when I could make this, and especially when I could wear this, but this is absolutely glorious, and I feel like you would need to have the guts to wear something like this. But if you made it, it's something satiny and drapey like she has here, like how beautiful. So I had to mention this, but I can totally understand that it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. I said 8, but the So Love patterns, it's actually 3 patterns in there. It's fine, keep moving on. For So Love patterns, she has 3 dresses that would work really nicely. They don't look that black tie on the photos here, but that's only because of the fabric she chose. I think if you chose something satiny and made those dresses, you would look very, very fancy. So the first one is the Chloe dress. I think it looks absolutely gorgeous with the little bows. It's like simple but special enough at the same time. The Springer, which you can see here in a fabric that's a little bit more fancy. The spring dress you can see here in a fabric that's a little bit more fancy, and I think if you choose the shorter sleeves version and the dress like this with the slit, so not the gathered, oh my god, mine was so loud. So not the gathered dress, I think it could look quite fancy. And lastly, the Joelle dress. I mean, she's even made it in a bridal version, and I think again with the right fabric this could look extremely fancy. I'm going to power through. I'm sorry I got so many, but then I got lost on the Simplicity website and look at this Vogue dress. The V2110. I think it's because it's green and that the lady is particularly thin wearing it, but this really reminded me of the dress that Keira Knightley is wearing in Atonement. In the end, it's not really the same shape or anything at all, but it reminds me of it because of the drape, because of the open back. It's still a very different shape. I went to look at it and I was like, yeah, clearly you've been influenced by the green and I think by the styling of it, but I think this looks absolutely gorgeous and you would look very sexy wearing this to a wedding. Maybe you would upstage the bride at this point, and then that's your own issue. Safer and probably a bit easier to sew, but I thought it looked very chic, is this McCall's M8475, and this has an absolutely lovely back. It's kind of simple at the front, but again, if you have the right fabric it would look chic enough, but the back is very, very nicely drafted. Moving on, I also wanted to put something that looks nice for plus size, and this S9476 is really gorgeous, and I really like the little flutter sleeves that they have put as an option for this, and also the way she's wearing it with a tulle on top. I really like the way that looks. And finally, this is one I just added now. I should really stop, but the Magnolia dress from Deer & Doe is absolutely beautiful, stunning. You need to be comfortable with quite a plunging neckline. I think it looks like they have an option that's a little bit less plunging, but I think with the slit and everything, this dress has drama, and with the right fabric, you would look absolutely gorgeous for your wedding. I know there's enough pattern recommendation for this wedding guest, but I don't care. I am going to mention a pattern from Papercut, and it's the Luli dress, and I just thought that this one would look really, really chic in a more modest way if that's something you were after. And I absolutely love the cut of the skirt. It is cut on the bias, so it skims your hips in the absolutely best way possible, so I actually could not mention this one. Okay, I actually received one more prompt, and I had told this friend that she could send it even after I finished filming the videos, so here's the prompt. The person we're dressing dresses traditionally in women's wear. They are going to a fundraiser at the Royal Greenhouse, so it's a specific place in Brussels. It's kind of chic, but it's definitely not black tie. It's like chic, but not too chic, like kind of cocktail level. They wear plus size garment. They are not really comfortable showing their arms, but they don't mind drawing the eye towards the neckline. We need to take into account that the greenhouse can get very warm, because as soon as you're inside, it's like really hot and stuffy, and that this person would like to rewear the dress at a wedding this summer. So with this, I have two options that I think are just off the mark, but I still want to show, and two that I hope are going to be I think I have one that's like the one, but I have some extra. The first one is McCall's 8507, and I feel like this one really fits the brief of hiding the arms, highlighting a nice chest, but I am wondering if it doesn't look a bit too casual. Now, I think it could be because of the photos. I wonder if the photos are not the thing that makes it look a bit more casual than it could be, and I feel like maybe this in the right fabric could be fine. What I'm not sure about is the double gathered area at the waist, and I'm wondering if that makes it a little bit too informal, but I think the flutter sleeve elevated a little bit, so I still wanted to mention it. I think we're not on the best option, but I think it's not bad taking our brief into account. The second one is a Simplicity S9919, and this one, if the person was comfortable showing off their shoulder, I think that's brilliant, because you can wear a bra, because there's the straps that would hide your bra strap, which personally, don't ask me to wear a bandeau bra, like it's just not what I want. But I think the shaping on the bust is really lovely. It's almost a little bit sweetheart, and if they really weren't comfortable showing their shoulders, then they could still go for the puff sleeve option, but I do find that the ruffle sleeve is a lot prettier, so that I really liked, and for me this would have been the number one if there wasn't a question about the shoulders. And I know there's a version with puff sleeves, but I always find it hard to judge only off a drawing and not being able to see, so I still found something else, which is a Simplicity 9704, and here I think we have struck gold. Beautiful neckline, a little bit sweetheart as well. I love the ruffled sleeve, the shoulders are covered, the upper arm is covered. I'm just wondering if that's enough covering of the arm, and I think the shape would not work as nicely if you lengthened the sleeve, so maybe there we have something that's not perfect, but I do find that the shaping of the bust and the waist, all that works pretty well. Just from the garment photo here, you can see that this could be kind of elevated. I feel like this one is my best bet. I also wanted to give a indie designer option, and for this I would go with the Estella dress. If you wear the Estella dress with the knot at the front, you do bring a lot of attention to your neckline, but your arms are covered. They use a linen type fabric in the product photos, which I feel make it look not the most dressed up, but I have made this for a friend who needed to be a bridesmaid at a wedding, and she looked fabulous, so I know that this can be dressed up a little bit, but the shape is not naturally the most dressed up shape. I still think that the Simplicity that I showed beforehand would be better, but I did want to show this one to have something more indie designer to present to you. Okay, moving on, we're reaching the end. Looking for a swimsuit, a one piece that can be dressed up very quickly to go from pool to dinner. I have a girly option, which is the Tilly and the Button corally jumpsuit. It's also in a bikini version, but you could make the one piece. And I think the fact that there's a frill here kind of distracts from the fact that it's a swimsuit and almost makes it look a little bit more dressy. And so I feel like if you just put a skirt above that, then you would look dressed enough. I really wanted to put, I don't know its name, but that swimsuit that Friday Pattern Co.'s doing, but I was thinking that it was maybe too much boobs on show for going to dinner afterwards. Then there is the Fit You Moreto jumpsuit, and I chose this one because this one has an elastic under the bust for support, and personally if I were to go to dinner in my jumpsuit I would really need a little bit of support. This one I chose specifically for that elastic and for the support you would have and to feel a little bit more comfortable at dinner. Now, if you want something a little bit more cheeky, there's the Signe jumpsuit from Harihito Lingerie. And this is a Belgian designer that I actually know, so I did want to include her swimsuit. I really like in the several options that the Signe has, the one that has a little twist at the front. Again, it's a little bit more cheeky because there is that little keyhole there, and so you would need to be comfortable being a little bit more exposed at dinner. I feel like this might work or not depending on the size of your breast. And later Noémie would like to add the Marni jumpsuit from Papercut Pattern. There is a very simple version and I saw it originally and then discarded it because I was like, it's too simple. They also have another swimsuit that's a lot more fancy and I was like, that's too much for dinner. But this one, I thought it was too simple. But then I saw they have this option with the little knots on the straps. And that might be enough of a little something something to make it feel like you could go out for dinner with this. And they also have it in the plus size range. And so I really wanted to mention this one as well. This way, there's also a more inclusive pattern option in there. I wonder if you could, so there's this version that has a little knot at the waist. And I wonder if you could, I feel like you could draft the knot at the waist on the one piece option. I feel like it would look very nice. Okay, now I have 3 ones that are pretty similar, which is why I put them together because I thought, okay, we have variations on a theme here. Sunday morning, I have to go out, but I want to wear my PJs. And for this, I had a relaxed tee that you would wear on top. I feel like this could be PJs, so you wearing your tee, you feeling chill. The reason why I chose this one is that it's grown on sleeves, so you don't even need to sew the sleeves, and so even sewing it is a relaxing experience. And then you would wear it with the Closet Core sepia pants, and those ones have a very nice elasticated waistline, which are going to make you feel like you are still in your pajamas, but you are dressed enough to go out and be a respectable human being in this world. I really like the pockets on this, they're really fun. And if you are like, no, even an elasticated waist, that's too much touching me, I need more room, then I would go with the Oasis dress. I really like the asymmetrical skirt and I think the pleats make it look really chic, but because it is a knit dress, you would be really comfortable in it. So I feel like all of the work would happen when you are sewing it, but then afterwards when you're wearing it, it's like secret pajamas. I feel like you would be so comfortable in this. Having your Sunday brunch in this would be actually perfect. Comfy working from home but with online meeting. So I chose the Billy top and fin shorts. I thought it was kind of convenient to have the bundle with the two. The Billy top is fairly simple and fairly loose and it looks like it would be very comfortable, but made in a nice drapey fabric like they have on the photo, it still looks dressed up enough. But then the shorts have an elasticated waist, so you'd be really comfy. And if it's summer, I would wear the palazzo pants from Wardrobe by Me. I almost bought this pattern. I was really like, they look so chic. If you see the photo where she was wearing the sweater, you can't actually see that it's elasticated waist. You can just see the pleats and then you're like, ooh, work pants, pleats, fancy. But actually there are secret pajamas because they have an elasticated waist. So I really thought those ones would keep you comfortable at home, but then at the same time you're not actually in pajamas and you still feel like you're in your work pants. And I feel like those would work well for actual in the office, because back in the time I was working in an office, I would love elasticated waist pants because I would find that sitting all day, if I was in jeans or something tight, it would hurt my tummy and I would have a really sore tummy by the end of the day. So this is actually what I would wear at home and out of home. And finally, you are sick, but you want to feel dressed up and put together, and you could nap in the outfit. Okay, so I have your sick in the winter and sick in the summer option. For the summer option, I have the Algarve top from Itch to Stitch, and I feel like this is a knit top, so it would be very comfortable and you could definitely sleep in it, but it looks special. So you would put your knit top on, you would be as comfortable as in a t-shirt, but then look more special than in a t-shirt. You said you wanted to look put together, so I have looked especially for you for something that was not a t-shirt. And then if it's winter and you're sick, I thought this top, the Islaris top, that's also from Itch to Stitch, it's like, okay, it's a top, like it's a simple shirt, but because it has this little square neckline, I find that it gives a little bit more fancy than your average t-shirt, and that it's not just, oh, I threw this on. I just thought it had a little bit of extra special, but it's still a knit, so you'll still be very comfortable in this. Now I have, my god, I re-look at everything I have and I have so many options. If you can deal with a woven, I think the Morella pants from Pauline Alice would really be nice. They have an elasticated waist, you would be fairly comfortable. They look very comfortable on the tummy, and they look roomy enough that you could definitely slouch on your couch and nap and be fine. So if you can deal with a woven, I think this is going to make you feel more put together, but still comfortable enough to sleep. So I would go with that first. Now I understand that when you're sick, sometimes you can't deal with a woven fabric. So if you need to be in a knit, I have a wide-legged or a straight-legged options for you. They're both from Style Arc. The straight-legged is the Brooklyn knit pants, and I mean, this is basically pajamas in disguise, but you would still feel put together because you have the like back pockets, angled pockets. Like I feel like it looks still dressed up in a way if you had the right fabric, something that has a bit of body and holds its shape. And then the other option is the Como knit pants, and those ones are wide-legged and kind of the same. Like if you have the right fabric, you could still look put together while being secretly in pajamas, because basically this is a knit pants and this is elasticated waist, so it should be fairly comfy. How to be in sweatpants but look like you're ready to go to the office. I had ready to wear pants that were like that, and I think they were a poly material, but they were definitely looking smart but very comfortable to be in. Okay, that's it for this roundup of patterns for super specific occasions. Thank you so much for everyone who sent the prompt again. I feel like I want to do this again in the future, but timed, because here I spent so long looking for everything, and I kind of want to do this again in the future where maybe I can't see the prompts ahead of time and I see them and I have on camera a certain amount of time to find the pattern and kind of like work against the clock. But that would be just for fun, because obviously I would not have as much time to try to find patterns for you guys. But for today, I hope you liked this video, a little bit more light-hearted today, and I want to thank Birgit for tipping me a coffee. Thank you so much, Birgit. If you liked this video, don't hesitate to give me a big thumbs up, subscribe if you want to come back here in the future, and I will see you in the next one. Don't forget that you can make anything. Bye!